What's up, guys? Just wanted to share with everyone a fun little weekend project I got to do for the HOA. We had a pretty interesting task we were trying to complete. Um, we had to power wash a dock that was about 1,000 feet from the closest house and 600 feet long. So maybe if you had a professional power washing setup with a couple 100-gallon tank and quite a bit of hoses, you could get the job done. But all I had was my trusty gas-powered 3,200 psi Honda pressure washer. But our issue was we didn't know where we were going to get water from because we actually did try to run hose from the nearest house, but even, city pressure, you got about 40 psi. By the time it was through a couple 100 feet of pretty old hose, it was barely a trickle. So, not enough flow to get the job done. So, I had the idea to hook up a gas water pump and feed the pressure washer. Um, we just went and got a little, I think it's a 79 cc gas water pump from Harbor Freight, Predator. I believe Predator's the brand that makes it. And I I did get my inspiration. There was a pretty obscure log cabin or something forum from like 2008 where someone mentioned this, and one of their tips really helped us get it running. So I'll go ahead and uh, play this video here in the background to kind of go through our setup and walk through it. So, um, shout out to that forum for the inspiration behind this, and just thought I'd make a video to help some people visualize it a little better. So, what we've got here in the water is a pretty nice metal filter that actually comes with the pump from Harbor Freight. Um, it's a mucky bottom on this lake, so we just kind of suspended it in the air so it wasn't, uh, you know, sitting on the bottom, sucking up sand, rocks, debris, small fish, um, while we were going at it. Um, and then connected to it is the 1-inch suction side of the hose that is also supplied with the pump. Um, as you can see, our suction side here is a little collapsed. I'll go over how that happened. But a tip would be to really make sure you've got that suction side clamped on there good. Otherwise, air will get in there and your pump will start cavitating and you won't be pumping anything. Um, that was the first issue we ran into. So really tighten down that suction side good. And also make sure you prime your pump. So have a jug of water, and before you start up the pump, have that impeller housing filled. So it's nice and primed, it can start pumping. Then we've got a little 1-inch to 3/4 reducer hooked up to just a average uh, garden hose, really, that then feeds into our pressure washer. So we'll go ahead and see that all the way to the. Here's where I was comparing, the dock as it was. This is using one of those 15-inch surface cleaners. We ended up going over the dock with like a maybe 25-degree nozzle or 10-degree nozzle that did a lot of a better job, but the surface cleaner was a good start to break stuff loose. So here is the critical step coming up here. Yeah, this is our discharge hose still into the inlet of the pressure washer. And so right here is the critical step. So before I had the idea, inspired by this forum, to get this little Y fitting with two kind of check valves there so you could regulate the flow. We were trying to just hook up the end of the hose into the pressure washer. And so we'd be getting great flow from the hose and from the pump. But as soon as by the time we would connect the hose, clamp it down, and to connect the hose, you'd have to kind of kink it hook it up, clamp it down, screw it in, start the pressure washer, try and pressure wash, um, the pump would kind of get backed up because right, it was making all that good pressure. All of a sudden, all that pressure had nowhere to go. So I think it was collapsing the suction side, or bypassing at that fitting, the suction side sucking in air. But anyways, by the time you would fire up the pressure washer and try and get anything out of the end of the discharge of your pressure washer, if you follow your green hose to your trigger gun, all it was doing was pumping air, and the pressure washer couldn't prime because there was all of a sudden air in your hose. So to overcome that, if you get a Y fitting like this with a bypass, and you can see the pump provides enough flow where both sides are fully open, but having that bypass to be able to, when your pressure washer's off, keep that flow going and keep your pressure good in the hose was critical to getting this done. So you can see that there. I mean, that is basically still all the way open, but you're still definitely getting, my pressure washer only 2.5 GPM, you're still getting enough flow to get the job done. So there's us using the surface attachment. We got a lot of dock left to do, but this is a setup that got us in the groove. So I've got one more video with a a tighter angle sprayer that is really doing a good job without making too many splinters, of getting about 20 years worth of algae and grime and dirt and goose poop off this dock, and it looks awesome compared to how it was. So hopefully this video is helpful if you were trying to pressure wash somewhere remote like a dock and you've got a source of water and you can't run a hose. So good luck.